Okay, there. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. Welcome everyone. First of all, I'm just letting you know, as I told the organizers, that although you're going to be coming at 12:30, I'm going to be here closer to 12:40 because I finished another halaqah and I come straight here, and that finishes at 12:30, 12:35ish. And so it's not a license to be late. What I'm trying to say is that hopefully as it warms up, you guys can be playing ball and stuff outside, and then when you see me pull in, then we can just walk in together. So if you even get here a little early, like 12:20, 12:15, you guys can just hoop up, play ball, and then I'll come in, and then you can just walk in together and just get started. That way, there's no excuse to be late. At the same time, you know what the actual schedule is. I don't want, after a few weeks, like, why is this guy always coming at 12:40? Because that's when I'm scheduled to come, based upon my previous location, inshallah. So with that, I'm going to begin by first getting some names. I need to learn your names. I'm horrible with names. And the last thing I want to do is not know your name. And when I ask you to say your name, I actually want you to remove your mask momentarily so I can see your face. Because right now you're just all masked individuals. So we'll begin with my right. Go ahead, what's your name? Hamza. Okay, got it. How old are you?
16.
And where are you from? Like what area here? Like Golden Heights, okay, cool. Okay, what about you? Uzair. Okay, Uzair, how old are you? Okay, Hamza, you're 16 or 15? 16. Uzair, you're 13? 14. And where do you go to school? What about you? CPSA. Oh, CPSA. Nice. What grade? Why do people go to CPSA? Not joking. I used to teach at CPSA. So, cool. Awesome. Bilal, right? Can you move the mask? Let me see. I just remember you from the sweatshirt. That's the only reason I remember you. Okay, Bilal, where do you go to school? GBN? Okay. And how old are you? 15. Awesome. And you play ball at GBN? It seemed like you liked ball when you came. That's just something. Okay, cool. Alhamdulillah. You play what? Next year, inshallah. Okay, what about you? Arsalan. You were here too over the weekend. Yeah, I remember you. Okay, Arsalan, how old are you? 15. So it was Hamza, Uzair, Bilal, and then it was Arsalan. I'm going to forget, but just do my best not to, okay? Go ahead. Hudayfa. You were here this past week too, yeah. You were just wearing you were wearing a thobe. You were like more like ready to ball. Now you're all pious. Okay, that's cool. How old are you? 15. And where do you go to school? GBN. So you guys know one another from before? Do all of you know one another? No? Yes? If you don't, like, learn about one another right now. Okay, so Hudayfa. Okay, what's your name? Sufyan. Sufyan, can I see your face for a moment? Dorian, I'll lower my gaze afterwards if that's an issue. How old are you? 18, okay, cool. And where do you go to school?
I'm doing homeschool.
Homeschool, okay. What grade are you in? Sorry?
Oh,
Senior, nice. And then what are you doing next year? Homeschooling still?
who's that?
That's Hudayfa Chacha. Okay.
Mama, who's that?
Oh, yeah,
Who's that wearing the sweater?
wearing the sweater. Yes, who is that wearing the sweater? Can I see your face for a moment? Okay, Yusuf, okay. How old are you, Yusuf? 14. Hudayfa. Is Sufyan, was that your name?
Yeah.
Sufyan, okay. So we got Hamza, we got Uzair, we got Bilal, Arsalan, Yusuf, and then, hold on, before Sufyan was Hudayfa and Sufyan. Okay, cool, got it. Go ahead. Jawad, how old are you? 18. Where do you go to school? Okay, and then you're graduating this year? What's your plan for next year? Sorry? You know where yet? Nice, okay. Sufyan, are you doing his right now? Is that why you're homeschooling, or you just like to homeschool? Okay, I was homeschooling my kids too, and then I just couldn't do it anymore. So we stopped. Is there a Zoom link, and if so, what is the link? That question was asked. Is there a Zoom link for this? No. Okay.
Baba, this is a mistake.
There is no Zoom link. However, you may go to the MSI YouTube. Yes.
This is a mistake. This has a hole.
Oh, that's the home. That's the masjid. Awesome. Okay, cool.
See, it's coming to...
Wait, what was your name again once more? Jawad. Okay, cool. Yeah, he threw me off. Okay, what's your name? Hudayfa. Another Hudayfa. Okay. How old are you, Hudayfa? 17. Cool. Oh, okay, cool.
Like Ibby,
Okay, I'll just copy
like
and paste
my
it over.
friend named Ibby.
Your friend named Ibby, he's not here right now.
Ibby.
Aren't you too little to have? Yeah, he is. Aren't you too little to have friends? Okay. So after Jawad, once more was Hudayfa. Hudayfa, how old are you? Where are you going to school? Where? Oh, GBE. Okay, yeah. East. Okay, what's your name? Faizan. Okay, Faizan, how old are you? 14. And where are you going to school? Glenbar North, GBN. Okay, so there's a lot of North guys over here. So that means you live around my area. My kids are supposed to go to North if they weren't going to MEC with me. Cool. What's your name on the right? So you're Faizan, right? Faizan. What's your name? Akif. Okay, Akif. You were here also. Yeah. And how old are you? Where do you go to school? Sorry? Nice. Okay, cool. Awesome. Those above a certain age, I'm not asking for your names and ages, so I'm just going to seek your forgiveness in that. It's not to be rude or anything. I don't want to put any person on the spot, but alhamdulillah. Okay, bismillah. So my name is Saad. I'm 40 years old. I just turned 40 last month.
The name is the mom's car.
Oh, the mom's car. The mom's garbage truck. Okay. And I don't know. I moved back to the area a couple months back. I live like on Gladstone. And I don't know. I love to hang out. I love to. I'm active in sports. I to lift. I'm actually trying to push MSI, Noman Bhai, Raza Bhai, to get a gym over here in one of those buildings. But until then, I offer my garage up. We have like bench, squat rack, punching bag, landmine, kettlebells, iron maces, whatever you want. And I was actually going to say, until then, you guys feel free to come by. And I'm very serious about that. So, did any of you come to my home on Jamaat? Like last? You were there, Sufyan. So, and I offered that day too, but you guys were too cool. I think it was snowing too hard that day. Yes.
I took us on that home.
Oh, right. Okay. And that offer is there, definitely. The people online, I'm not going to ask your names because it's just not prudent.
Baba, I took on this home.
So Anas, I have to talk now, so you have to stay quiet, okay? Thank you. Okay. So the second step now is, why are we here? So the purpose, I don't know why you're here. I'm not going to ask that question right now because we don't have that much time, but I want you to think of that yourselves because Rasulullah has mentioned in hadith, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. Actions are based on intention. And if your intention is because my parents forced me, well, alhamdulillah, you fulfill that intention. But you can double, triple, you can multiply your intention based upon why a person is coming, why you're here. And so in particular, when you're looking at, for example, when we're putting clothing on, I can just wear clothing without any intention. I don't get a reward. It's mubah. Then I say, okay, I'm going to wear clothing and I'm going to wear white because the Prophet loved white. So that becomes one good deed. And every good deed is worth how many good deeds? Minimum? 10. So that's 10 good deeds right there. Then I say, well, I'm going to wear qameez because the Prophet he loves qameez. So now I went from one good deed to 2 good deeds, just 20 rewards. Then I say, well, I'm going to cover myself because the Quran, the Hadith has commanded us to cover our awrah, our satar, from the navel to the knees. That's 3. And then I tell myself, well, I'm going to look, I don't know, let's say like my kids like me to wear jeans. I don't think they do, but so I'm wearing jeans for that, just to make them happy. Okay, then now I get a 4th reward. And then, these socks, you can't tell, but these Spider-Man socks, someone gifted them to me. I know I'm going to see that person today, so I'm going to wear it to make that person happy. That's a 5th reward right there. Then I make the intention that I'm going to look. Because they're nice, right? You like them? Yeah. And then I make a 6th intention now.
Can I touch them?
Yeah, you can touch them. Weird kid. So then the next intention I make is that, okay, there's a verse in Quran that says that, Ya bani Adam, qad anzalna alaykum libasa yuwari sa'atikum wa risha. That verily we gave you clothing to cover your nakedness. So that's another intention. Wa risha, to beautify yourself. That's 2 more intentions. That's 8 intentions. So now just by putting on clothes, I got 80 rewards. And then I mindfully put my right sleeve first, my left sleeve first. I've now hit 90 rewards. And so you can see a mundane act. An act that you shouldn't have gotten any rewards for, I just banked. And if it's in Ramadan, if I take 80 and I multiply it by 7, what does it become? 560. Add a 0 to it because we're multiplying by 70. What does it become? 5,600. That's 5,600 rewards minimum just for a 2-minute act of putting on my clothing. So when people are like, I don't understand how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said that وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ, that I did not create jinn or mankind except to worship. How can I worship every moment? You can worship every moment if we use the magic wand of intention. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go around. I want everyone to think for a moment, what is your intention of being here? And try not to copy the other. Try not to copy the other. I'm going to try to mention your name. That way I'm able to get your name solidified. I'm going to forget your name. So understand that in advance. Right, Zayd? Hey, Zayd, finger to your nose. I'm joking, that's Anas. But I forget names very easily. So, and you can, I think Yasham, hey, Khadija. And that's obviously not Khadija, it's my daughter, but that's just how I am with names.
Now can we go?
No, we can't go yet.
Why?
Because I'm talking. So let's begin with Hamza. What's your intention of being here? And yours the easiest because no one can take it. You're not taking anyone, so you can come up with anything. Okay, learn something new. Excellent. And Allah Ta'ala has commanded us to learn within Quran and Hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. Okay, so learn something new. All of us who make that intention. Yusuf. Right? Is Yusuf? Oh, dang it. Hudayfa. Already I messed it up. Where is Yusuf? Yusuf was over here. There, right? You're Yusuf. Okay. So you're the 13-year-old Hudayfa. Okay. 14? Uzair. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't hear you. You have to take off your mask. Okay, Uzair, go ahead. To gain more knowledge. Actually, you just said that. It's just learn something new. I guess it's sort of different, to gain more knowledge. Okay, I'll give you that one, because I forgot your name. Okay, Bilal, I remember your name from basketball. So Bilal, what's your intention?
What's no friend name, Baba?
Uzair. Learn more specifically about Malcolm X. Okay, excellent. So that's 3 different intentions. Arsalan? Yeah? You sure? Okay, cool. Go ahead. Okay, so to learn the Islamic point of view of Malcolm X. That's 4 different intentions. And as we're hearing them, make the intention because literally we just racked up 40 new rewards. Yusuf, right? Who's it? Islamic heroes. Okay, that's a 5th intention right now. Go ahead, Hudayfa, part 2. Yeah? Okay, go ahead. Okay, Malcolm X and Muslim life. Okay, you guys are getting very, very similar here, but still, you're differentiating enough. That's cool. Oh man, you're 18, you're homeschooled. Sufyan, go ahead.
All of this is leaving.
Yeah, don't leave.
It's going down.
Be more active, like in the masjid.
Okay, awesome. Be more active and involved in the masjid. Excellent.
More down.
17
Baba,
GBN.
Baba.
Right, you're 17? No, you're 18. Okay, 18 GBN.
Baba.
Or GBU. Oh, I thought you guys were the same school for some reason. You're not another Hudayfa. Yes.
This is going back from there.
Good job.
Going down.
Okay, I can't remember. Go ahead. Jawad, that's what it was. And I even, okay, go ahead. Jawad. Okay, learn lessons and apply them to our lives. Excellent, awesome. Behind you, wait, you're new, right? I didn't get your name earlier? Okay, what's your name? Safwan, how old are you? 15, okay, Safwan, 15. Where do you go to school? Homeschooling as well? Okay, cool. Wait, who's homeschooling? Raise your hand.
Baba.
Those of you who are homeschooling, who's homeschooling because you're memorizing Quran? Or just finished memorizing? So you guys are actually homeschooling because you want to homeschool. Your parents want to homeschool you. Okay, sorry? Okay, awesome.
Baba.
Yes.
This is showing the way.
Well, you know, Anas, now I have to tell Mama you're not letting me speak. Do you want me to do that? No, right? Okay, so just stay quiet. Okay, go ahead. Safwan.
Yep, Baba.
Good job. What's your intention of being here?
Just like learn more about
Okay. Yeah, and the people of our deen is going to be an important topic to learn on. Awesome. I can't remember. Go ahead. Hudayfa. Another Hudayfa? We got 3? We got 2. Oh, there's 2. You were there. Okay, got it. What's your intention? Why are you here? How Islam changed Malcolm X's life. And a lot of people became Muslim because of Malcolm X's life. You'd be surprised. Just last year in our school, Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, the former Chris Jackson basketball player who had like the record for free throw percentage, and he plays in the Big 3 tournament, right? Yeah. He came by and he's like, it was this book that changed his life completely. Dr. Omar Farooq Abdullah, is this book that changed his life completely. The recent basketball player became Muslim. What was his name? Yeah, same thing, this book. This is a powerful book. That's why I love teaching it so much. I teach it in my English classes, but I teach it outside my English class as well, because this is a life-changing book. Someone's Muslim and they're like not sure about their Islam, and they sort of, especially the latter chapters, like, man, this is an intense reality of Islam. Okay, go ahead. Oh man, okay, so you were Jawad, you were Safwan, you're Hudayfa. What's your name? Faizan. Okay, yeah, Faizan. Go ahead.
So, like, to learn more about how Malcolm X, like, before he turned to Islam, he was more violent.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, like, to learn how he turned more transition into more people. To
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I think that's a really good point about this peaceful versus non-peaceful thing. Are people watching us? No, okay, no, I don't care if they are, but I'm thinking next week I'm just sitting on the ground with everyone else. I feel weird sitting on top of everyone. So is that okay for next week? Yeah, because even now I'm sitting on top of the chair, like I'm sitting on the ground. What's your name? Akif, okay, what's your intention? Learn a new topic, okay, awesome. Here's some of my intentions. To meet people for the sake of Allah. Literally, if I meet you for the sake of Allah, there's no other reason I'm here. You're not here to stare at my beautiful face, it's already covered. We're not here because I'm serving you biryani. We're not here for any other reason. We're literally here for the sake of Allah. And when two people meet and they depart for the sake of Allah, what's the reward? The reward is on the day of judgment, you're under the shade of Allah Ta'ala's throne. What's another? It's okay. Moving it might take a while. If not, then it's cool. It might even be easier for Anas to play with his trains then. Cool.
Baba's away.
Okay, Anas, when it's on the ground, okay? It'll be easier. You want to come sit down next to me?
Why?
Why? Because I like the ground.
I like the ground too.
Okay, then you can come sit on the ground too, okay? You guys see me in the end?
Yeah.
You can see me? Okay, cool. Awesome. What else? I'm also here with the intention that... Yeah, you can sit on a chair. Go ahead. The other intention that we have is that on the day of judgment, every day the angels, they scour the earth. They search the earth. And they see like these beams of light that pop up. And those beams of light are people who are together remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which we're doing right now. So they race for those beams of light. They come together. They find all of our names. They begin to take the names up to Allah. It arrives to Allah. Allah asks them a series of questions. Why are they there? Did they remember you? Have they ever seen me? No, they've never seen me. Imagine if they saw me, how much they'd remember me. What are they seeking? They're seeking your paradise. Have they ever seen my paradise? No. Then imagine if they saw if they saw my paradise, how much they would ask for it. What are they seeking? What else do they want? They're seeking your forgiveness and protection from hell. Have they ever seen my hell? No. Imagine if they saw it, then what their fervor for protection from hell would be. Then Allah says, bear witness, I've forgiven them all for their sins. That's another reason I'm here, because by sitting with all of you, you have benefited me now that my sins are forgiven by the time the gathering ends. Also to be in the masjid. There's an intention of intidar al-salah and i'tikaf right now. And so I'm getting reward for waiting for the prayer and of doing a mini i'tikaf while I'm sitting with you. What's another intention? There's all these intentions. So we're like 10, 15, 20 intentions in right now. So as we come every week, and maybe one of these weeks what we'll do, I'll bring a dry erase board or something and we'll just write them down. And that way every time we come in we say, okay, this is intention. If someone thinks of a new one, we'll add it. So when we leave here, we're not leaving with just 25, 30 minutes of boredom. We're leaving with 100 rewards, 200 rewards, etc., 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 especially in Ramadan. Okay. Now, the next thing, Malcolm X himself. What is the name of the book? It is the Autobiography of Malcolm X by Alex Haley. Okay, awesome. You're not required to get the book. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a Google Classroom, and on there I'm going to post some things sometimes for you guys to watch, sometimes some things for you guys to read over if you want. There's no requirements. There's no homework. There's no expectations other than you're here with sincerity, obviously. Well, what's another intention? We're here to make our parents happy, to please Allah. Obviously, all those intentions. Now, why do we study people? Does anyone know why we study people? And is it okay to study people? Because shouldn't we only be studying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Is it okay to study? Yeah, go ahead, Faizan.
It's okay to study people because if they're a good person, like you learn more about how to become a good person yourself.
Okay.
And if it's a bad person, you know how to stay away from the things.
That's actually what Imam Shafi once said. Imam Shafi rahmatullahi alayhi was once asked, how'd you get to this position of just being so awesome? Paraphrasing. And so he said, I took everyone as a teacher. If I saw someone doing something good, I copied that person. If I saw someone doing something bad, I learned from that person what not to do. And that's we do study people. Does Allah speak about the Prophet in the Quran? Yes. So do we study it to learn how to be? Absolutely. Does he speak about Musa alayhi salam in the Quran? Yes. Do we study it to learn what to do? Absolutely. Does he speak about Fir'aun in the Quran? Yes. Do we study it to be like him? No, we learn the opposite. Who else? Samiri. Shaitan himself is mentioned in the Quran. We learn the story of Shaitan, so we know, this is what I'm not supposed to do. And that whole interaction between shaitan and Adam alayhi salam with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there's a lot of lessons over there. And so what I want to encourage all of us is when we're coming here, there's a lot of things we're going to learn here that's going to be, this is why we have the age limit, 13. Because there's some things that are going to be a little adult in nature over here. We're going to have discussions about drugs. It comes up here. Malcolm X did a lot of drugs before Islam, before jail. About womanizing and then illicit interactions and relationships, we're going to cover that. Because that's what you go through. I can't just come here to the masjid and say, oh, we're all nice kids who are never going to go through difficulty, etc. We're going to go through difficulty because we've been created to be in this world, and this world is Darul Bala. It's Darul Imtihan. It's a place of difficulty. So you're going to be tested. You're going to be tested with women at school. You might be tested even with men at school, etc. Those are things that are going to be discussed over here. Gambling is going to be discussed. There are mature topics that will be covered. There will be spiritual topics that will be covered. Like the first time Malcolm does sajda. It's a very interesting conversation. Yes?
Pretend this is a spiky garship.
Okay, I'll pretend that. The first time he does sajda, it's amazing because he struggles so much. Because he was a proud man before. Now to bend his knees and put his head on the ground was difficult. So we study the lives of people to, as Faizan was saying, to learn what to do or what not to do. Now, having said that, why not just study the life of the Prophet ﷺ then? Because he's the best of people. Isn't it better to spend our Sundays doing the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ? So why aren't we doing that? Crickets. Hey, just think about it. The reality is that you have... Oh, go ahead. Rafi.
More relatable to us.
The Prophet ﷺ lived 1,400 years ago. His time frame was different. He's the best of example. Uswatun hasana. But when we see even the Prophet ﷺ, he said, I leave behind for you my sunnah. And does the hadith stop over there? My way? No, what does he say after that? Yes, of my companions, the khulafa, al-rashidin, al-mahdiyyin, the rightly guided companions. What the Prophet ﷺ was showing here was that if he was the only example, then that's where we'd have to stop. But anyone who takes his example becomes an example for us. That's in Quran too. فَإِنْ آمَنُوا بِمِثْلِ مَا آمَنْتُمْ بِهِ فَقَدْ اهْتَدَوْا. That if you believe the way that the Sahaba believed, then you be guided. Shouldn't it be if you believe the way the Prophet believed? Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? But what the Prophet is showing here, and Allah Ta'ala is showing, is that we can take the example of people. So Malcolm lived at a time closer to us. He went through difficulties that we are going to undergo, some of us, if not all of us. And he is a person he's a Muslim that's within our cultural framework, which means what? You're going to hear about him in school, you're going to hear about him at maybe in the Black Lives Matter movement or any protests you go to or just in books, etc. You have to learn about him. And when we learn about him, then we're going to see this guy's a powerful individual. If I can mirror some of the decisions he made, I'm going to also have that power in my life. Now, last thing to cover as a precursor. This is an autobiography. What does an autobiography mean? I'm an English teacher, remember, so I'm going to ask a lot of English-related questions. Go ahead. He wrote it himself. But it says the autobiography of Malcolm X as told to Alex Haley. So that's Alex Haley. So how's it an autobiography? He was with him. He was just talking to him. Alex Haley also had the documentary Roots, or the movie Roots. He wrote a lot and did a lot of work on African Americans and the African slave trade, etc., etc. So he was talking to Alex Haley towards the end of his life and reliving everything. Malcolm, he died. He was younger than me when he died. He was killed. He was assassinated at the age of 39. I'm already 40. So he didn't even live to my age. And the world praises him and speaks about him today. Can you imagine if he lived until normal lifespan, 70, 80 years old? The world would have been so different. And actually there's a whole discussion about who killed him, and that conversation's for towards the end when we get to it, inshallah. Okay, so now.
Do I make my whole trunk in the masjid?
Oh, okay.
Have you got my more truck?
When we go home, we get more trucks, okay? Now, the next thing we get into. Yeah, we'll give in the masjid for next week when you come. Now we actually get into Malcolm's life. So, yeah, from the masjid. The next thing about Malcolm's life, Anas, are you being good boy or bad boy? Good boy? Okay, I can't stop when I'm talking, okay? Thank you. And finger out of your nose, please. Thank you. Okay. Now we enter into Malcolm's life. Malcolm X, his name is not Malcolm X. Anyone know his actual name? Whoa, Anas? No. What's his actual name? Yes. Malcolm Little. Malcolm X, and his name changes again from Malcolm Little to Malcolm X to Al-Hajj Malik al-Shabbaz, rahmatullahi alayh. Why, does anyone know why he's Malcolm X and not Malcolm Little in popular mainstream culture? Yes.
I think the last name of his family's slave owner.
Yes. Excellent. When a person enters into the Nation of Islam, and we get into about 2 or 3 weeks down the line, that's what Malcolm was involved before Sunni mainstream Islam. When you become in the Nation of Islam, that group makes you drop your last name because that's your slave owner's name. So what does that mean? So let's take a step back. What's your ethnicity, Hamza? Indian. What's your ethnicity, Uzair? Indian. What part of India? Sorry? Hyderabad. What part of Hyderabad? It's okay if you don't know. What part of India? Hyderabad. What part of Hyderabad? Bilal, what about you? Pakistan. What part of Pakistan? Sorry? Karachi, okay. What part of Karachi? Like defense, or do you know what part? No? Okay, let's see. Who's not from India or Pakistan over here? Everyone in India, Pakistan. Okay, it's cool. So the reality is, oh, by the way, guys, sit comfortably. This is not a dars. You don't have to be in like the tashahhud position. You can be if you want, but just sit comfortably. If you have to stretch your legs, just don't stretch it towards the qibla. Okay, you can just stretch your legs to the side. I'm not saying lay down and bring a pillow or anything, but at the same time, this is an informal gathering. Okay, it's not we're here. There'll be days I might actually teach you some, like, book of fiqh or aqidah or something. Then you'll sit, but here, just chill. Like, I don't need you guys to be sitting, your feet are falling asleep, and you're thinking, God, when is this guy gonna stop? My feet are falling asleep. No, just relax. You gotta change your position, sort of put your feet out for a moment. Go ahead and do that. I don't mind. This is an informal setting. So please be comfortable. Just don't point the feet towards the qibla, because that's bad etiquette. Aside from that, be comfortable, okay? Even in terms of dress, of course, you always see me wear kameez or thobe. That's just the way I dress, but dress comfortably. So if you're like, I'm coming to the masjid, you should dress appropriately for the masjid. But if you're like, look, we're gonna play ball before, bring a thobe. You can, if you want to bring a thobe, then you can put it on later, etc. Just be comfortable. Don't think you have to fake it around here. This is a safe space. And that's one thing I forgot to tell you guys. This is a safe space. Whatever answer you give does not leave here. It's not going to be reported to your parents, etc. I've had halaqat, and I've had classes where people had to come tell me some very specific. I had one person who told me how she was sexually abused in her family. It's a safe space. Not going to tell the world. We had to legally take care of the situation, but it was a safe space. I had a person who came to me just recently with depression. It's a safe space. And I will share stuff with you about my life as well, which I consider to have to be a safe space as well. For example, I suffer from depression and anxiety. I do. I see a therapist. I'm not on medication, but I see a therapist. And I'll be open about it. But it's a safe space for me, knowing you're not going to be like, this guy suffers from depression, what a loser. I'm expecting that not to happen, okay? It's supposed to be in a situation where you can come here, be yourself, and leave, inshallah, a little better, but comfortable with what just happened over the past half hour, 40 minutes, etc. The reason why I asked about your background is I can tell you that I was born in Park Ridge, Illinois. Raised pretty much in Chicago. My parents are from India, Hyderabad. And from Hyderabad, my mom's from Old Mulakbat, Purana Mulakbat. My father's from Yaqutpura. And I can tell you that about 3 or 4 generations up, that my ancestors had migrated from Iraq. And then before that, they had come from Yemen, and before that from Saudi. I can tell you that. An African American cannot tell you that. An African American cannot tell you that. What's an African American? Who knows? It's an American with their roots from Africa. So why aren't you Asian American? Why are you Indian American or Indian? Why are you Pakistani? Because you can trace it back there. African Americans don't know where they came from. They know some grandparents or great-grandparents were slaves. Maybe their parents, etc., were brought from some part of Africa. I don't even know, because they were invaded, they were stolen, they were shipped across the seas, and now we don't know where we're from. I don't know their names. They may have married someone they don't know what region from, and then we're just sort of a conglomeration of different parts of Africa. I lived in Africa. If you live in Africa, you know that the Zambians, they look different than the people from Malawi. And the people from Malawi look different from the people of Mali. And the people of Mali look different from the people of Senegal. The people of Senegal look different from the people of Somalia and from Sudan, etc. They look different. But when they were stolen from their heritage and brought over here, they were just sort of cut off from their past. And when you're cut off from your past, it's very difficult to have a sense of pride and a sense of honor. And so they established that by reestablishing their culture. And part of it was just to be African American. It was a sense of pride that we don't know where from Africa, but we're African. Remember, Africa is not a country. We all know that, right? It's a continent. I hear people say, yeah, go back to Africa. Okay, what part of Africa you want to go back to? It's huge. So Malcolm is an African American. He's an African American with European blood in him. I'm going to get into that next week why. Who does not know how far he can trace back his lineage. But what he does know that his father, Earl Little, was not Earl Little by birth, but his ancestors were slaves. And this name Little came from the slave family. And so he drops that early in his adult life and begins to live a life of ambiguity, of this X. And that takes him to a very, very interesting journey. So it's 1:14 here. At 1:15, I believe, is the adhan, so we stop over here. If you have any questions, you can feel free to ask. If not, then we'll meet next week, inshallah. If you are going to read ahead for next week, I want you to go ahead to read chapter 1, Nightmare, and chapter 2, Mascot. And the titles are really, really interesting. Okay? At least Nightmare, because Nightmare is a really, really, really pivotal chapter that talks about why Malcolm, what happened to him early in life. With his father, with his mother, what their backgrounds were, what his mother's mother, what happened to her, all these things, okay? Straight? Okay, so when we end the gathering, we're going to do the following dua. Subhanallah wa bihamdi. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Astaghfiruk wa atubu ilayk. That means everything we said, we're forgiven for in this gathering. There's not a good online version for this book. It's like in this archive format that's just straight reading. But when I set up the Google Classroom, I'll give it to you if you can just add, or you can give me these names or however you want to do, and I can post the link onto there, inshallah. Yeah.
There were more people. I have more emails.
Yeah. No problem. Yeah, inshallah. So give me a day. Give me today to set up the Google Classroom. And then we'll communicate to get these names and the online names with the links and everything set up for them in the Google Classroom, inshallah. Cool? Okay, guys, so Adhan's going to be called now. I am leaving. I'm leaving to go pick up my two boys because they just finished their halaqah to bring them for Dhuhr. So don't think I'm leaving. I'm going to come back. The reason I'm saying that's makruh to leave once the Adhan is called from prayer. But I'm going to get my boys so they can come pray with us, okay? Okay, assalamu alaikum. Anas, let's get your bag.